Good morning. It's 5:00 a.m. Yeah. I'm on the road. It's morning time, and I've got a few hours of traveling, about 6 hours of being on the road again today. So I want to get a coffee chat. I'm going to make coffee, and I just want to chit-chat with you and let you know what's going on, let you know what has been going on in California, and just do sort of a wrap-up. But I just want to talk to you guys. Yeah, you're my friends, so and talk, make coffee. Now, I won't be able to edit this video. I'm just going to put it up as is. So what you see is what you're going to get. There'll be no editing of this. Well, there might be a couple of edits if I really do a weird snafu. You know, YouTubers, we do a lot of editing. Sometimes we have this blank thought going in our head, and we're just kind of like there. I've seen videos of YouTubers, they'll put up things where they had to cut out, and they'll put them up for fun, and they'll actually show how many times they had to redo a take. Well, I don't have to go through that because I try to be pretty spontaneous. And sometimes when I do make mistakes, I just leave them in because it's like, you know, if they're not horrible mistakes. But sometimes you can get that blank stare going on like, what was that word again? Yeah. So let me get my coffee going. And this is going to be an unedited video. I'm in Daggett, California. Daggett, California. Where's that? Well, I thought it was interesting because I rewatched a documentary. And it was called Planet of the Humans. And they featured Daggett, where what they did was they secretly cut down a lot of the Joshua trees so that they could make a huge sea of put up solar panels. But they needed to get rid of these ancient, glorious Joshua trees. And it was on the outside of Daggett, California. Well, it was funny because I looked and we were going to be going through Daggett. Well, I didn't see anything. In fact, coming here, I did see some Joshua trees, not a lot of them, which was kind of sad because this is a Joshua tree area, Mojave Desert. Yeah. Well, anyways, so right now I'm in Daggett, and I'm parked at a rest stop. I don't know if you can hear it. I must have heard it all night long, but I noticed it yesterday too when it was still light out. There's semis park over that way, and here is where the cars. I mean, they designate where we park in a rest stop. But a couple times a semi pulled up over here. It was weird. And there was really barely any room for him, and he kind of took up a lot of space. So I thought, well, that's curious. It must be full over there. And it wasn't full. So I'm like, well, why is he over here? Well, there must have been a truck that parked here last night because it's going vroom, vroom. You know, his truck's running. It almost sounds like spaceshipy. Vroom, vroom, you know. I probably dreamt about it, you know. It's just in the back. It gets in your subconscious. You don't even know that you're listening to it. But he must be parked like right behind me. I don't know if you can hear it. You might not. It's very subtle. And it actually, you know, the semis are so big, but you can feel the ground go. It sort of vibrates the actual ground. But God bless them. They're moving our products around. And as much as people might say, well, capitalism and fossil fuels, well, it is keeping us alive, folks. Yeah, you all know that. It's nothing, you know, that you haven't thought about. But yeah, the truckers are moving our product. And I think lately we've been kind of like noticing, ooh, what if the trucks did stop? Yeah, with gas prices up. Yeah, prices of product is going up. Which is our livelihood. I mean, that's how we stay alive. That's our system. Well, let's see. Let me get some of my water going here. I went to bed early last night. Yeah. Because I knew I was going to be, I wanted to get this going early. And I knew that I was going to be doing early coffee with you. Love you guys. Yeah, some of you guys have been with me from the very beginning. Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. It's a year and a half since I've done this YouTube channel. Oh, I've enjoyed it so much. I mean, not every little second of it, but I've enjoyed it. And what an ebb and flow this channel has gone through. I really enjoy the inspirational talking. I really enjoy that. I've always wanted to be an inspirational speaker. I'm a nomad. I mean, I've been a nomad for 5 years now, and my YouTube channel, like I said, a year and a half. And I also have the podcast going with Paul, This Nomad Life with Lee and Paul. We've got that going. That's fun. And just the extra, all the little offshoots of it, writing the book, How to Live in a Minivan, the Minivan Leeway, and just all kinds of things. And then designing the stickers and magnets, and the merchandise. It's been a journey, and I've really enjoyed it. And I look forward to the years ahead also. And yeah, I think nomadism is a growing thing in America. A lot of people are getting on the bandwagon and wanting to live a more simple life, live a more sustainable life. After watching Planet of the Humans, I watched it. Paul, my friend, my travel friend, hadn't seen it, or he hadn't really heard about it. It's a documentary by Michael Moore, and I know some of you might, oh, I can't stand Michael Moore. Well, watch this. Because sure, I mean, he really pissed off the conservatives. He's a liberal. He's pissed off the conservatives for years. Well, now he's pissed off the liberals because he put this out. He exposes the whole system of energy and what we've been doing. He exposes the truth about solar, about the wind, and the biofuel. Oh, that'll bring tears to your eyes. I really recommend. It's on YouTube for free. Well, we were watching that, and we were talking about sustainability. I believe that the nomad life is uber sustainable. I mean, we're not out just flushing toilets all the time, wasting water. In that way, how many gallons of water do people waste flushing their toilets? What is it, like 2 gallons of water go whoosh, down the toilet? Whoosh, and every time somebody in the family flushes their toilet, we don't do that. We might use baggies, but you know what? I use maybe one a day, and guess what? Families and houses use that much too. And I eat more simple and more like a produce, things like that. So they're not in a box and they're not in a package. Well, I just eat kind of simple anyways, but I do believe that things are much more sustainable. I'm not requiring a lot of, electricity, which is really, in America, that's coal, And I'm not for or against anything. I'm just mentioning that a lot of people think, the biofuel is the worst. But, well, anyways, I'll end with that. But do watch it. And which brings me back to what I was talking about originally. The growing of the nomadism in America. And it is a lot of fun. I'm having a ball. I am having a ball. The coffee's getting... Well, let me get my... my emergency. I drink is emergency. Yeah, the C. And it's emergency, and I drink this every morning. Vitamin C is really good for you. There are studies that have been done that vitamin C in large doses intravenously have lessened tumors, cancer tumors. But the pharmaceuticals companies, their system kind of squelched any of that being revealed. And what happened then after that is the pharmaceuticals started making sure that people were putting out information that you can overdose on vitamins and it's not good for you, and especially vitamin C, which there's been no recorded cases of anybody overdosing on vitamins, But, yeah. So, but vitamin C, so I take vitamin C every morning. And I take the emergency, and there's other essential vitamins in there too. Yeah. Get my coffee ready. Coffee. For you and for me. Let's have coffee. There's my wipes. I know it's Pampers. So cute little baby. Yeah. Wouldn't that be something if that was like your baby? You got your baby on every Pampers? Wow. But what I do is buy just any old brand. And I don't put them through here because sometimes they even don't go through there. I just open it up and I grab one. I usually buy Walmart brands of wipes and I just close it up. But this keeps it nice. I just open it up. I cut the end of it off and I just slip the whole pack out and slip it inside there. So that's how I do that. I just wanted to get a wipe. I like to wipe off my coffee spills. Put it away. Let me get my emergency. And I'll take my vitamin. Whoops, I need my spoon back. Whoop. It's early. 5 o'clock. At least I'm ready to go. I got a lot of sleep last night. I went to bed around 7:30. Yeah. Sometimes it's fun to sit up and talk. Now that I'm traveling with Paul, it's fun to just sit up and talk, for a little bit. But then it's hard to not sleep in. My alarm goes off, but it's hard to not sleep in. Okay, you're going to watch me drink this because I'm not going to edit it out. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to drink. Yeah. Take my vitamin. It's just a Centrum over 50 multivitamin. Yeah. Some of you said, oh, yeah, that's good. Some of you said that's crap. But, this is what I take. I like the raspberry flavor the best. It can be hard to find though. That's a good way to get my liquids. Here we go. Okay. And then I also drink 32 ounces of water first thing in the morning. That's the first thing I do. So I get my liquids in there. It kind of jump starts my liver, my kidneys, my digestive system. I'll put this away. Might as well put this away, get it out of my way so we can chit chat. Okay, we'll put this away. Okay. There we go. Okay. Coffee. Here you go. There's yours. It's mine. Cheers. I'm not going to edit this, so cheers. There. There we go. Okay, so what has been going on? Well, this summer's over, and it truly is the California tour truly is completely over. It's just over, and I'm inland now, and in about 5 hours, I'll be in Arizona. Oh my gosh, yes. I'm going to miss the ocean. I'm going to miss the beach. I'm going to miss California itself. The people are fabulous in California. They're so nice. People really are nice. I saw homeless people, yeah. And I saw a few crazy people completely whacked out. Probably, I've got a degree in psychology, so I knew that they were probably schizophrenic because they were definitely talking, having conversations with people that there was nobody there. So, yeah, I saw a few. There were a couple times where I had to move my parking spot because there was one who was continually there. He was near a church, and he was continually there, and there's nothing that anybody can do about it. So when I talked to somebody who was at the church, they said they've complained about it, but he's not on their property, and he just sleeps there in the street. But he's constantly screaming at somebody who he thinks is there, a non-entity, and he's calling them really cursing a lot, calling them names. So that was, you don't want to park near that. That has a weird vibe to it. So I didn't want to hear that anyway. So had to move on that end. But in the early morning in Santa Cruz, I'd go to the park, and here was this one, and he had a car. It was real beat up. I don't even know if there were windows in the car, but he was definitely, he was definitely talking to other people. Yeah. Having major conversations. So there's some wacky people I've seen, yes, while I was there. Now, I know one of you had mentioned, that I was in San Jose, and somebody said, well, don't be in San Jose. There's nothing in San Jose. Get out of San Jose and go see some. Well, there was something there in San Jose for me that I found. And I don't know if you guys realize that I didn't. San Jose is the 10th largest city in the United States. I was like, it didn't appear that way to me, because when I first went to San Jose from San Francisco, I thought, well, I'm going to go to San Jose. I've never been there, and something drew me to San Jose. Go to San Jose. So I did. I needed something at Walmart. And so I went to a Walmart, and then I just sort of looked at the map, and I picked a spot. I said, well, and I went way down in the southern part of San Jose, because it's pretty large. And I found this most wonderful park. Very small. I don't even know if you could even call it a park. But it had this parking lot. And off to the side of the parking lot was a track that the school used. Well, it was during the summer, so the school wasn't in session. And it had the most beautiful trees. They weren't weeping willows, of course. I don't know what they were, but there was a bunch of them. And there's a wind, and the wind blows in San Jose. So as the wind blows, these trees, the leaves they kind of hang down, and they just kind of sway back and forth. I actually called, nobody would ever, other than me, would call San Jose Sleepy Town. I called it Sleepy Town. I would just be tranced. I would just sit there. I might be editing, or I might be watching, because it was hot in the summer, and I might be watching a program or something, but I would just start trancing out on watching those leaves, and I would lay down and just take a nap inside my van. It was a very happy place for me. I really enjoyed that park. And in the morning, I would go there, and I would walk the track, got my exercise that way. There was some grassy area where I could take my blanket out and do my exercising. It was just my own, and it wasn't a big parking lot. There were about 3 regular people that would be there every day. They were living in their vans too, but it was my own little secret spot, and it was nice. So what I would do is I would spend time there, and within a 3-mile radius, I learned where everything's at: laundry, post office to send you my stickers and magnets, and I knew where the Walmart was, where there's a Planet Fitness, and then just a few blocks away was where I parked at night. And there were other people that did it too. It was in the street where the park was on. You wouldn't even know that this was a big city. It was sort of a suburb area way south in San Jose. It was considered San Jose, but it was way at the end. It was quite the gem that I found, and I was so happy with it. Well, what I would do is I would be there in San Jose, and Santa Cruz was only 30 minutes away. It was this winding road on 17. It was beautiful road. It was, but it was winding going to the beach. So I would go to San Jose for like 2-3 days, just rest up, get my laundry done, I could clean out my van because I was in the parking lot. I could pull things out. And then I would, unlike the third day, it's like, okay, it's time to go back to the beach. I'm going to go to the beach. And then I would drive to Santa Cruz. Or I would go, and it was just 40 minutes away to Monterey. That's where I met Cindy. Hey, Cindy. And she's near Monterey. And I could enjoy the beaches there. So it was a great summer. But in Santa Cruz, I would get there. I mean, I got so much walking in on the beach, and it's really good exercise walking on the thick sand, where it's not you're walking towards the shore where the waves are coming in, but it's dry sand that you got to get through that, and it's like this thick. It's like almost like quicksand. You got to walk, and it's not easy walking on that sand. But I got so much exercise, and I got a good sun. I was careful with my skin, and I just would walk on the beach, and then I would walk back, and I would just sit in my van. I would do recordings. I did my regular videos. I would eat lunch. I would just sometimes just have time to think and design shirts, do a little writing. Take a nap, like I said, take a nap, and then maybe go back out on the beach. But this is how I spent my days. And then when it got to the point where, I'm dirty. I need a shower. There's too much sand that has crawled and creeped into my van. I need to so I drive back to San Jose, to my little spot, and shake everything out and just kind of take a rest. And Santa Cruz had more energy feel to it, whereas my little spot in San Jose had a more relaxing feel to it. So a lot of you say, well, why didn't you go see more? Well, my style of being a nomad is just, I'm living my life, really. I'm not a tourist. I'm just not much of a tourist, because it's hard to relax and do editing and actually take time to create. I like to kind of be in a spot. That's just my style. And so I've been reading some of your comments on the trip on the Pacific Highway, and they said, well, I hope you saw this, and I hope you went there. Oh, I can't see everything. I know when I was in San Francisco too, you said, well, I hope you saw this, and I can't see everything. Oh my gosh, that would be, I think it would probably require a different personality that I don't have. And it might require more time and money and gas. And, gas is over $4 a gallon in California. Everything's so expensive here. But I'll tell you, I had a good time. I think I put out some good videos during the California time here. I think I did. I hope you enjoyed them. I did a lot of filming of the ocean waves. I did a few where I was just sitting on the beach early in the morning and talking to y'all, and trying to do some inspirational stuff, which I just love to do. But well, guess what? I mean, everything's changing now. Wow. So I'm going to go to Arizona, and I'm going to go on BLM land. Well, the biggest change too for this summer was Paul made it out to California, and we started traveling together. He loved that little site. He said, this is perfect. In San Jose, he goes, where did you find this? I said, I think he finds these places for me. I just feel led on where to go. And I have the confidence to just kind of listen, and to listen to logic and listen to the spirit inside and say, well, where do I go next? And he really enjoyed that. And of course, Santa Cruz. And we spent a lot of time there. Abby got her first foot in the Pacific Ocean. It's a good time. She enjoyed it. She really did well on the beach. She walked well on the beach. When we were in San Francisco, though, she was like a psycho dog. She didn't know what she was doing there. I think there's too much energy there. Yeah, I didn't mention, San Francisco. That was, wow. Oh, I'd go back in a heartbeat to San Francisco. That's my kind of city. I love the energy there. I do like the energy, and I could actually spend a lot of time there. It wasn't as easy finding parking, though. Oh, my gosh. Because everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it. If you find yourself a spot on the curb, and which I call now urban nestling, you're nestling in with the locals, and you're just kind of nestling in, but you're in an big urban setting. Yeah, you're lucky. I found a spot. Wow, and it was a spot I could get into because the cars really park close together, and there's so many up, and then the roads are down, that if you can find a semi-level spot, you're like, yes, I found my spot, and I'm going to stay here for the night. I'm going to, nestle in. But yeah, that was the only drawback, is finding a spot. There's one spot that Paul and I parked in. He goes, well, you're good at finding them, so you go find a spot. I found this spot because he's got a big Ram, so it's got to be enough space for the both of us. And it was I found this spot. It was on this really busy street. And he's looking like, wow, he's seeing cars whizzing by. We even had to pull in our side mirrors. We had to pull them in because, a bus would go by. But that was an experience. That was a flashbulb moment. The giggles. Oh, that was hilarious. I got out. I had to get out. I couldn't get out on the side that I get out here. And this sliding door doesn't work because, I won't go into it. But so I literally had to crawl over my bins that are here and crawl over my bins to get out. And I went back and I sat in his Ram, and we were just sitting there, just laughing, watching these cars go by. We knew it was going to settle down after a while. It was during rush hour, and it was hilarious. But that was a flashbulb moment. But if you can find a spot, you're really happy and excited that, yeah, you got a place to sleep for the night there. But I do love San Francisco. Oh my gosh. Everything is so beautiful, including the people. Where I was at, oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, Marina Boulevard, whew. Well, that's enough about San Francisco. But now there's a big change coming. There's that big changeling thing going on. It's and so I want to talk about that because I'm going to be going on BLM land, and it's going to be so different than being in a city. And y'all know I do like city life, but I also do like to boondock, and this is going to be different. And it's going to be, and Paul and I are traveling, so it's going to be different in that respect too. But I do want to talk also about change. I mean, as seasons change, we're all changing, and we all have different expectations about what's going to be happening. But I think we all want to go through our changes that are going on up here, and we want to, and I talk about creating our future, getting rid of our past and creating our future. And we all change no matter what. So if we can set ourselves, well, what do we want? How do we want to change? How do we want this to happen? What does it look like? What does our future look like? What do we look like? What do we see ourselves doing? How do we see ourselves reacting with other people? Because that's really what's important, is other people. And I've mentioned this before. I'll just briefly mention that they did this huge, the longest study ever done on, on human behavior. And it was on happiness. And they followed people from childhood all the way up. So it's the longest study that's ever been performed. And what they found was the meaning of happiness is your relationships with other people, with other human beings. There's where your happiness lies. True happiness is the friendships we've created, the family and friendships. So, yeah. So when thinking about your future and envisioning your future, envision how you are reacting and behaving with your friends and your families. And you want to envision yourself being a loving friend, a loving partner, being loving and doing things for other people and putting yourself out there for other people and just doing things for them. There's where real happiness comes in, and not expecting anything in return for it. That, I guess, unconditional love for other people. So if you can envision that, and in the past when I've talked to y'all about creating your own future and writing down what you want, when I first started doing it, I really had some backlash on it. Well, you know that God's going to give you what you want. You shouldn't be asking for these things, and God will give you exactly what you want. Well, they assumed I was always talking about material things, which I included that, but I wasn't just talking about that. I was talking about who you want to be, creating a personality, creating your temperament, your personality and who you are, and how you are reacting to other people and behaving with them, and having how you want to have relationships with other people. Oh, this is good. So with changes coming, let's assume you've already done that. You've already meditated on it and you put it out there that this is who you want to be, and you're letting your mind, you're letting the brain, you're letting the logic up here sort of guide this down here. You're not letting the emotions just rule your life. You're getting angry, or you're just, being confused, and you're just letting this control your actions and your future. Let this control your future. Well, there's all these changes that are going to be happening. Now, so here's where I'm getting at. You want to be gentle on yourself. You want to be forgiving of yourself. And yes, you do want to love yourself. I mean, even in scripture, it says, love others the way you love yourself. Well, if you don't love yourself, is that the way you're going to love others? So, yeah, you want to love yourself. You want to be loving towards yourself, which means you want to be forgiving of yourself. And as this change is happening, I mean, I've got change going on. You all have change going on. The seasons are changing right now. And they even say, I know a lot of it, I'm not going to go climate change or climate, I'm not going to go all that. But they do say the earth is sort of changing right now. And it doesn't mean we're all going to die, but the earth is sort of changing right now a little bit. There are changes going on. Well, that doesn't mean that they're all good. They might, you got to take the good with the bad. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. So everything is changing right now. I mean, I think we all can sense it. There's a change coming on. But in here, there's these changes as we've put our future out. And we've put out what we want. Well, not everything's going to change like that, is it? So we have to be forgiving and gentle and patient with ourselves, because we're still going to keep falling into our old things, our old habits, our old way of thinking. And we don't want to say to ourselves, well, I knew that wouldn't work, of course, I'm not going to end up changing. I'd keep doing the same things and thinking the same things over and over. No. Be gentle with yourself and patient, because not everything just, bam. We need to practice what we want and practice up here what we want out of life. And the change will come. And the fact that we're noticing that we like, let me give you an example, because I do this sometimes too. I know that up here, what you hold in your head, you hold in your hand. And it's true. What you hold, good or bad, what you hold here is what you're going to hold out here. And you're going to manifest out here, because that's where you're thinking. We are energy. Well, say, well, just tell yourself, I am 100% healthy. My body is working perfectly. Everything is working perfectly. I feel great. You get the idea. Well, I still go through it too. It's like, oh gosh, like I banged my hand, and boy, it actually kind of like became black. It's like this black spot, and I said, I just bruise so easily, and I thought, well, why do I keep saying that? I thought that I thought I'm 100% healthy. Why do I keep saying that? Well, it's in catching yourself saying that is that change is coming. Because I caught myself doing it. You don't want to just keep declaring your problems, You don't want to keep doing that, because then your body goes, oh yeah, okay, well, we're supposed to bruise easily. If I would quit saying that, then, and I know some of you guys, well, that's ridiculous, but that's the way a lot of us are moving in that. It's not just me, but a lot of us are moving in that direction, to where it's all up here. It controls. This is a control center. This is the hard drive up here, and this down here is the software, hardware, software. Yeah. So, but I catch myself still doing stuff like that, but I don't want to be hard on myself. And there's other things that are probably more severe. That's kind of maybe you might think, well, that's a silly one. But there are other things too. There are a lot of people that are always proclaiming their, day after day, they proclaim their illnesses. Well, I have this, and then they go on and talk about it like they're wearing it like their moniker. This is my badge. I have this disease, and this is, yeah. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You're proclaiming it as your badge. You're wearing it, and it is your conversation. You're wearing it as your conversation piece. And so your body's just sticking with all of this. So, but back to the change. Be gentle with yourself and be patient with yourself. These things don't always come just like that. It takes time, and it takes practice, and we need to be really gentle with ourselves. Pat yourself on the back, rub your shoulders a little bit, yeah, and be kind. And in the process, then we can learn to be kind to each other. So I hope you enjoyed this coffee chat, unedited coffee chat. You even got to see me drink my emergency and stumble on my words a few times. I love you guys so much. You guys are great. I've really enjoyed this 1.5 years with y'all. And if you can, as a favor, if you can, maybe share this channel just a little bit more with maybe your friends. Just get the link and maybe share it on your Facebook group, or share it with your friends on an email or in text, and say, yeah, this is Minivan Lee, and she's a nomad, and she's got some good advice, and she's fun to be around if you do find me fun. So I love you guys, and I won't continue on with this. I am going to travel today, and I'm going to be sitting in that seat up there for about 5-6 hours and do my thing and get to Arizona. I love Arizona, and of course, y'all know I love Tucson, and I've got a couple of children that still live there, so that's right down the road in November. And then the holidays are coming, yay. So I hope you have a really good day. Bye.